Hi, the governor asked me to be here today because when we think about climate change, there are many voices in this debate, and many of those voices are political voices. There are more and there are others, and people have questions about whether politicians always are clear about the facts. And one thing we know is that the Union of Concerned Scientists is clear about the facts. It is not a political organization, it is an organization of scientists, and they are bringing forward a state-by-state fact-based analysis of what global warming is going to mean and what it means in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. And when we think about global warming, in many ways, the scientists who spoke before me and the scientists across the state, the 40 who signed on to this report, are like the people who 2 years ago suggested that we needed to pay attention to the subprime mortgage crisis. They are the people who said there is a warning of a meltdown, and we need to listen to that warning. And most of the financial services sector did not, and most of the banking sector did not, and obviously the U.S. Congress did not. And as a result today, we have to pay a price much higher than if we had taken action in the early stages of that meltdown. Well, we have proof, once again, by this report, that our planet is at risk of a meltdown, and that we must take action. And while it is not as obvious that you can't get a loan because the trends are slower, it's harder to see, the Union of Concerned Scientists report is like a canary in the mine telling us that we must do something to keep ourselves safe. Since taking office, we've been trying to do our part together with the legislature. Pennsylvania has made terrific strides. In 2004, when the governor came in, we radically changed our fleet requirements to drive down our use of high-fuel cars. In 2004, we passed the Alternative Energy Portfolio Standard, which rewarded utilities for shifting to energy sources that have low CO2 emissions. In 2006, the state adopted a 25% purchase of green energy for its own use in Commonwealth buildings, and we passed the Clean Car Initiative, which drove down auto emissions. I should say in 2004, we called on the government itself to cut energy use by 10%, and we have achieved that reduction now. In 2007, we proposed idling regulations that would cut down on truck idling, which are about to be put into effect very shortly. Also in 2007, we passed a package of investments in the alternative energy sector so that Pennsylvania companies and consumers and residences would have access to alternative fuel forms of energy to operate their factories and their homes and their cars so that we are less dependent on the fuels that are causing global warming. And as we sit here today, negotiations go forward on the final part of this year's energy package to drive energy conservation. And let me just give you a sense of what that means. Thus far, with the regulations that we've passed and the administrative actions that we've taken and the legislation that this building has enacted, we have we've moved 29% towards our goal of reducing the Commonwealth-wide, not just government, Commonwealth-wide citizens, greenhouse gas emissions by 25% by year 2025. That is an enormous undertaking. Not only are we reducing our use of energy by 2025, but we're also absorbing what would be the natural growth between now and 2025. So it's actually more than a 25% reduction. But in the year 2025, we want to be using 25% less greenhouse gas-related energies compared to the year 2000. Thus far, from what we've done, we're 29% towards that goal. We will be 29% less of that overall goal. If the energy package that is being negotiated as we speak passes, that catapults Pennsylvania towards 62% of its goal of reducing its greenhouse gases significantly. So Pennsylvania is in the throes of this conversation, and we will do our best to share the information brought forward by the Union of Concerned Scientists today to help make sure that our senators and our House members and our citizens understand the importance of taking action. We look forward to doing more. We're optimistic that we'll pass our energy package, and as I said, this really catapults Pennsylvania to making a significant change in driving down its greenhouse gas emissions. Thank you.